In the world of cloud services, just having the best tech or the slickest sales pitch, well, it just isn't enough to win anymore. The whole game has changed. See, long-term success now hinges on something much, much deeper, a complete shift in how you think, and we call it the enterprise mindset. Okay, let's dive right into this.
So, at the very heart of this shift is a really fundamental choice. Are you just a transactional vendor, always chasing the next deal? Or are you a relational partner, someone who's truly invested in the entire customer lifecycle? One feels kind of impersonal, pushy, all about that quick sale, but the other? That's about building real trust for the long haul, becoming an absolutely indispensable part of your customer success. That old way of thinking, that vendor model, well, that's what we call the transactional trap. It's all optimized for these super fast, isolated interactions, kind of like a transactional database. It's great for one-off tasks, but it completely fails at building a real, lasting business relationship. And just staying in that trap? Oh, that's not just a missed opportunity. It comes with some very real and very high costs. Let's take a look at the actual consequences of not making this shift. Think about it. When you're just a transaction, you're a commodity. You are so easily replaced by the next best offer that comes along. And that leads directly to higher customer churn, which just crushes your customer lifetime value. Let's be really clear here. This isn't just about bad service. It is a fundamentally unsustainable business model. And here's the financial reality just laid bare. You see that tall orange bar? That is the absolutely staggering cost to get a brand new customer through the door. I mean, it completely dwarfs the cost of keeping an existing one happy. A model that forces you to constantly refill a leaky bucket isn't just inefficient, it's a total cash bonfire. All right, so how do we escape this trap? The solution is to actively, deliberately cultivate this enterprise mindset. And this isn't just some new policy, it's a fundamental change in your company's DNA. Let's break down exactly what that looks like. Okay, first up, it is all about delivering business value. This means you've got to shift from a project mindset where you're just hitting budgets and deadlines to a product mindset that is completely obsessed with creating continuous, measurable outcomes for your customer. Second, you have to be data-centric. But I'm not talking about just making internal reports here. We're talking about using deep customer insight to actually anticipate their needs and make proactive, data-driven decisions that help them before they even know they have a problem. Third, the whole approach needs to be platform-oriented. So instead of this messy collection of separate applications, you offer a holistic, governed platform. This fights that siloed thinking that plagues so many big organizations and lets you build for long-term scalability and efficiency. And finally, it has to be agile and automated. The old motto, if it isn't broke, don't fix it. Wow, that is a massive risk today. This new mindset embraces continuous improvement and designs systems that are easy to change, ready to adapt to whatever the world throws at them next. Now, this all sounds great in theory, right? But does it actually work in the real world? Let's look at a really high-stakes crisis that put this entire philosophy to the ultimate test. The date was July 19th, 2024. A faulty update from the security vendor CrowdStrike triggered a massive global IT outage. It took down systems everywhere, from airlines to banks. For countless businesses, it was an absolute catastrophe. In a crisis like this, the two mindsets really show their true colors. The transactional vendor, they wait, they point fingers, they hide behind the contract. Their motto is basically, hey, it's not our fault. But the enterprise partner, they mobilize immediately. They see the whole thing through a different lens. Their problem is our problem, and the result is night and day. One approach just erodes trust, and the other builds unbreakable loyalty. So, seeing that proof, how does an organization actually build this mindset into its own DNA? Well, it's a very deliberate cultural transformation. And you know what? It has to start at the very top. It absolutely has to start at the top. This quote just captures the essence of true customer obsession. Leadership has to model this behavior, making sure the customer's voice is there in every single meeting, in every single decision. It's a huge shift. You start building the company from the outside in. Next, you have to empower the people on the front line. Give them the tools, the training, and, this is crucial, the autonomy to make decisions that actually benefit the customer. When your employees feel trusted and valued, that feeling gets transferred directly to your customers. At the end of the day, employee retention is the engine of customer retention. It's a straight line.
you also have to change how you keep score. These traditional siloed metrics, like rewarding a support team for tickets closed per hour, can actually punish good customer service. Instead, you shift to enterprise-aligned KPIs. You start measuring things like customer satisfaction or lifetime value, which forces everyone to work together toward a positive customer outcome.
And look, let's be real. This is not an overnight fix. It's a journey. This roadmap here shows a pretty realistic path, starting with diagnosis and getting leadership on the same page, then moving to pilot programs and empowering employees, and finally, scaling the new model across the whole organization over time. So after all that work, what is the ultimate payoff? What's the big prize? Well, it's about winning the long game by building a truly resilient and trusted business. A huge part of this is tackling the customer's biggest fear, vendor lock-in. You have to address it head-on. By supporting open standards and making data easy to move, you basically make it easy for a customer to leave. And here's the wild paradox. That is exactly what makes them want to stay. You're proving they're with you because of your value, not because they're trapped. This long-term thinking, it naturally extends to sustainability. Green computing isn't just some environmental responsibility. It's a really sound business strategy. It drives customer loyalty, enhances your brand reputation, it saves costs, and it delivers a powerful competitive edge. All hallmarks of the business that's truly built for the future. When you really boil it all down, it comes to this. In the modern economy, technology can be replicated, prices can be matched, but trust cannot. Trust is the ultimate, most valuable currency you have, period. So I'll leave you with this. When you go to work tomorrow, take a look at your relationships with your customers and ask yourself one simple question. Are you just building contracts or are you actually building partners?